Michaela Montgomery. Shout out to Michaela. Michaela is the young lady that basically set the Trump administration's Atlanta homecoming and the Georgia homecoming, as far as the rally that they did, on fire. And they came there right after Meg Thee Stallion and Quavo. And Michaela was the star. Now, Michaela is now getting a lot of visibility. And so she appeared on the Washington Journal via C-SPAN. And people were sending this to me, including Carrie and Yakar and several other people. And I said, okay, well, instead of us reviewing it on the Anton Daniels channel, let's just make it a part of the Millionaire Morning Show. Because what I found out was that there was callers that was basically calling her a sellout. This woman that can articulate herself so well is doing the work in the community, actually helping people, advocating for change, and articulated exactly why it is that she switched over from being a Democrat to a Republican. It's just now being called names because apparently they were taking calls, and I have not seen this, but I do want to share it with you guys. She was being called a sellout. I couldn't believe it. Broke my heart. So I seen a quick clip of it, but I pulled up the whole thing, so I'm not sure exactly where it is. So we're going to try to scrub through and try to get to the thick of things to understand why they called her a sellout. And let's see what's popping.
To the National Association of Black Journalists, and he talked about Vice President Harris's racial identity, that she had become black. A lot of critics said that that hurt him with black voters. What was your reaction?
I don't know why it would hurt him with black voters, because it seems like black voters are offended by everything except the conditions in which their reality
Facts.
is. So while we might be offended that a rich white man is questioning the nationality of a quote-unquote black woman, that black woman does not claim to be black outside of campaign season. So we saw her be black as she was vying to be VP. The hot sauce on the pork chops, the marching with the band, all of a sudden she's paying attention to her AKA sorority sisters. But then once sworn in office, you didn't see the acknowledgement of her sorority or her HBCU. She didn't wear pink, she didn't wear green, she didn't wear anything HU. She also did not acknowledge the black community while in office. We saw bills signed for Asians. We saw bills passed for migrants, which primarily affect the Hispanic community. We saw bills passed for literally everyone but black people. So for her, additionally, last thing, after she took that oath of office, she went on record to say that she was the first South Asian vice president. At no point in time did she promote her blackness. At no point in time does she acknowledge her blackness. At no point in time does she market herself as a black woman. And that was when she was attorney general. That's back when she was DA. That's all the way until she was senator. And of course, as vice president. So the fact that, again, she's using this black card during the election season just so black people will turn out to vote for her. And then she will, if she were to win, she would be in office and then fail those same black people who did everything in their power to get her in. I think that's disgusting. I think that's unfair. And I think that that's why I personally reached out to the Trump campaign and asked if I could speak, because I'm like, you guys might be offended when he says it, but what are you going to do when I say it? Because at the end of the day, I am a black woman. I've lived a black life, and therefore I pay attention to politics. So I was actually excited for her when she ran for president the first time. Just the fact that she was in the race, I was like, okay, HBCUs, do your thing. But she never acknowledged said HBCUs. In the first 100 days of the administration, they cut funding to HBCUs. She did nothing to support the very people that she's now leaning on to win this election. And I wish that those same people would understand that if they were to support her in this election and she does win, we will see nothing but a repeat of the last administration, in which black people, the same people that everybody touts when it's time to get elected, will also be the ones that are the first to be forgotten about once they're sworn in.
Y'all say that I'm able to articulate my thoughts effectively. I'm telling you, this woman is insanely smart, articulate, and could communicate like a monster. Look, we don't give enough credit and celebrate the people that are smart. I am but a lowly C student that has had to master my craft over a period of years. This woman is significantly younger than me, but if she is not cooking with fish grease, So many different talking points. I don't even want to hear the callers that called in to go after her. This woman is crazy. Honestly, I'm thinking about trying to call her and put her on the payroll. I'm thinking about trying to call her and maybe put her on the I might have to get this woman a position and a payroll to run a show. If anybody knows Michaela Montgomery's information, she might have to become a part of the team. She might have to be the official political correspondent of the Anton and the Millionaire Morning Show. She may be my next thing. She may be the next super duper dope woman. And it's a fact. When I state on these panels and I say, listen, don't y'all realize that Trump absolutely funded and saved HBCUs when they were suffering? And then when the Biden-Harris administration got into office, that they cut funding to HBCUs, yet they're using you for your identity in order to try to get into office? They're using you for your identity in order to try to get into office? Don't you know that they finessing you? And that she don't acknowledge you guys because it's not conducive. She knows. The reason why it's easy to not acknowledge you is because they know that they already got you, and so they don't have to do anything to keep you because you're going to keep voting for them no matter what. And so she didn't do anything for you. She didn't acknowledge you, and the only time that she showed up was when it's time to vote. Sounds like a typical politician to me. Sounds like a typical politician to me. You said y'all think Trump has her? I think she can do more than one job at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I think she can do more than one job at the same time. Real talk. This woman is, we got to give credit where credit is due. That's all right. I think I can offer her a decent amount. My bag is long. And listen, I've been looking for a chocolate sister to put some money in her hand for the longest. You know, I love me some chocolate. It ain't nothing like chocolate, y'all. Chocolate and intelligent. I said, oh my God, this woman. I mean, I know that she's saying that she a single mother, but Jesus Christ, that do something to me. That take me back to 2001. Back when my brother I had to ask for forgiveness back then. I was a little bit more of a savage than I was different back then. It was a whole nother era. But I'm telling you, this is the type of woman that you got to keep your distance from, because all of that energy and that intelligence, how you looking at her different, like, man, we got to make sure that we keep things work friendly. These women that are intelligent, I'm telling you, I like to give credit where credit is due, but they do something to you. Listen, that was my weakness. God said, Anton, I'm going to fortify you. I'm going to surround you by people that can hold you accountable and gird you up and keep your breastplate of righteousness on, because it ain't one thing, it's a mother loving another. Word to my daddy and my granny and my mother. You know what I'm saying? He said, listen, your weakness is the ladies, but I'm going to give you some strength in this congregation. I'm going to give you some strength in this congregation. I know you're a bag chaser. I know you get to the money. But Tom Dog, you're going to have to gird up when it comes to these beautiful chocolate ladies. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. Let me see if we can get to these callers that she was going at.
Michaela Montgomery, also at that Atlanta rally and at a news conference the week before, former President Trump attacked Georgia's popular governor, Brian Kemp. I want to show you a segment of that and then have you respond to it.
He's the most disloyal guy I think I've ever seen. But think of the wife. We can never repay you for what you've done, sir. We could have never won. And now she said 2 weeks ago that I will not
help
endorse
myself,
her
Vanessa.
because she hasn't earned
The ladies got me.
I haven't earned her endorsement. I have nothing to do with her. Somewhere he went bad. And you know what? Your numbers in Georgia are very average. Your crime numbers, your economic numbers, all of your numbers, you're very average. You can do a lot better, and you'll do a lot better with a better governor. You can do a lot better.
You get it,
so
Maria.
But I don't want her endorsement. I don't want his endorsement. I just want them to do their
Thank
job
you,
for
Maria.
Georgia. And you know what? He's the governor. He ought to support his Republican Party, because if he doesn't have his Republican Party, I could tell you where he came from, and it wasn't
Send it to
good.
me. Send it, DM me, Messi, and
Michaela,
send it to me.
your response to that.
Well, I feel like that Trump and Kemp had a personal relationship, a personal friendship, and the media.
I don't care about that. I want to get to the part where she had people going at her. Let me see. She had callers calling in.
I do remember this same sort of rhetoric coming from Ms. Montgomery, trying to claim that, black voters were going to change sides to the Republican Party. And in 2020, I think the black percentage was like 6% for Trump. So I just find it funny that every 4 years, this same, kind of song and dance gets laundered by the Republican Party. And I think it's worth mentioning that, Ms. Montgomery, she was the former city director of Blexit, which is a far right, we're going to try and get, we're going to try and quote unquote free the plantation mentality is a literal quote of the organization of black voters. And it's founded by Candace Owens, who's a far right loon. So I just think it's disappointing when C-SPAN, platforms people like Michaela Montgomery or Sebastian Gorka, or constantly refers to the Washington Examiner or the Washington Times, which are quite literally far-right newspapers that are made up. I mean, the Washington Examiner, go look up who founds them. Next, you're going to be, referring to the Epoch Times. So,
all right, Colin, we'll get a response from Michaela Montgomery. Go ahead, Michaela.
First of all, I'm a huge fan of Candace Owens, and I went to my first Blexit event here in Buckhead back in 2019. And the speeches that I heard, the visualizations that were presented to me, I was like, wow, this is great. And when it comes to getting off the Democratic plantation, that's a real thing, and I don't know why somebody would feel like I, myself, would be offended by that. If everybody thinks the same, has been fear-mongered into thinking the same way, living the same way, then yes, that's a plantation, because how in the world were so many slaves who outnumbered their slave masters continuing to be slaves? It happened because they were fearful of doing something different. So when we say that Democrats are on
this woman is on fire. She is it.
Democratic plantation, specifically talking about black people, is because yes, you guys are all blindly following a leader and you're scared to do something different.
Yes.
Additionally, to think that somebody like myself, who can clearly articulate their points, their opinions, their life experience that have led them to support certain candidates, it's very interesting that somebody would demean C-SPAN for having a guest like me on TV. There's plenty of people who think, act, and wish that a voice like mine had a bigger platform. So it's unfortunate that people like that feel like we should be silenced.
Is it a Wagoneer?
Ladley in Marietta, Georgia, Democrat.
Is it a Wagoneer like my dog Slimmy said the other night? Is it a Wagoneer? Oh, man, listen. She articulated herself correctly. She says, y'all got to get off the Democratic plantation, because what it is y'all are in fear, even though you overwhelmingly outnumber the people that are enslaving you. It's fear. It's a fear-based mindset that something different and something good is going. I'm going to tell you about black people before we get to this next caller that's supposedly call her a sellout. I'm going to tell you all about black people, okay? Black people and black culture have a fear of doing better, and that fear is instilled in us. And this is for those of y'all, because I know it's a lot of people from all different cultures, but I speak to everything, and I don't align myself with anybody just based off of color. But this is a cultural issue within the black community. Black people genuinely, subjectively don't even know it, but they have a genuine fear of doing better than the people that surround them. They have a genuine fear of being the one that step out and do something unique. They have a genuine fear that they're going to be criticized or that they're going to be successful and then be shamed as a result of it. In schools, I'm telling you, and it's a lot of people that can attest to this inside of the chat. In schools, when you are growing up, a lot of times you fear having the right answer and raising your hand because you're going to be criticized as a result of it. You choose not to even participate. You have a fear of sitting in the front of the class where you learn the best and you don't get distracted by the people in the back. You have a genuine fear. You want it in your heart, but you condition yourself, and your environment and the culture then conditions you to think with a Democratic plantation mentality of always being substandard and having to dumb yourself down and not even being as smart as the people around you because you fear actual success. It is crazy. Honest to God, you fear success. And anytime that you step out or anytime that you do good or anytime that you do something, they're going to say, oh, you a goody two-shoe. Oh, you a teacher's pet. Oh, you think you better than everybody else. And then they're going to start calling you a sellout and they're going to call you the C word and they're going to say that you Uncle Tom and all of these people. And it's a genuine crabs in a barrel mentality of, I'm not going to let you get out of here. You're going to have to stay with us and rock out with us or else you ain't keeping it real. It's a fear within a lot of black people that ultimately know that they're not supposed to be in that same place. Some of y'all that are watching this right now, and I'm going to just talk to you directly, forget the show, forget her, we're going to go back into that. Or you acting white, Carla, are you absolutely correct? Some of y'all that are watching this right now, you have never thought an original thought or expressed an original thought for yourself. Every single talking point that you have is from somebody else. You know why? You know why? Some of y'all right now are so much smarter than your circumstance. I did a coaching call yesterday and I got so mad at the person. And some of y'all know that whoever it is, and I'm offline and in coaching sessions and in real life, whatever it is that you see here, I'm 10 times more of, right? And so I was talking to somebody yesterday and I said, man, what's wrong with you? What you doing? I get so disgusted with some of y'all sometimes because when I say that I'm a C student, that I'm a lifetime C student, I'm not lying to you. It is no reason why I am supposed to be successful comparatively to you who is smarter than me, taller than me, better than me, and every step of the way, but you continue to dumb yourself down because you're trying to be a part of the cool kids club, which is the dumb kids club. The dumb kids club. Look at your leaders. Look at the people that you follow. Let's just take the three suckers that I have on the front of the congregation right now. Charlemagne the God is an idiot in real life. Ricky Smiley wear women's dresses, and D.L. Hughley ain't never been one that you was supposed to follow. And the only reason we were supporting him on a Millionaire Morning Show is because Monique was going at him for something that she shouldn't have been doing in the first place. Y'all follow Monique. She's not even funny. Her last Netflix special was trash. Trash. They were promoted and given to you. These are people that did not necessarily get it out the mud. They were given to you. These are not people that you actually subjected yourself to because they had a great thought or they were smart. We follow comedians. We follow entertainers, rappers. Kamala Harris ain't never even did a real interview outside of a script. She just do rallies and do the same talking points. And so we so afraid to step outside of what we've been conditioned to believe, which is you ain't no better than anybody that's around you. When people tell you you need to humble yourself, that's a black thing. That don't happen in other cultures and Chaldean cultures and Arabic cultures and Asian cultures. They don't tell you that you need to humble yourself and dumb yourself down so that everybody else will feel comfortable around you. They say, hey, you great. You awesome. Let's get it. Hey, and when you become successful, we become successful too. So we can all build each other. And then they pull the next one up and they pull the next one up and they pull the next, and then the next one be better than them. And then they look at their kids sometimes and they be like, hey man, they got something. So we going to all sacrifice so this person can be incredibly successful. And then we going to all leapfrog off of it and add value into their life. That is a hood cultural thing. People telling you, hey man, you need to dumb yourself down, or I can't believe you talking like this. And then when you go into other communities, be like, talk your stuff, big dog. That is a us thing. That is a cultural. This is why I say the culture, the thing that we celebrate the most and champion the most, is trash. It's absolute trash. And they get mad at me because I call it out. But in reality, a lot of y'all found me because y'all didn't like me when y'all first met me and I pricked your heart. But guess what? I never cared about what you thought because I was never a paid plant. You can't give me anything that's going to cause me to sacrifice what it is that I really believe. And so eventually you seen a light because you stuck around, not because you like me, you stuck around because it bothered you at night and you realized that you could be better than you was. And instead of your father and your uncle and your mother and your people and your friends that you so-called friends that was around you, instead of them pouring into you and giving you the information to unlock you, all they did was hold you down and prevent you from becoming great. That's all they did. Your mom ain't even in that's not your homie. Your father abandoned you. Your friends ain't your friends. Your friends are users. The people that you say is that you cool with, they don't even like you. They don't like you. Because if they did, they would do the thing that's in your best interest. They absolutely would tell you the truth. And if you ever get something, you better hide it. Because either they're going to steal it from you, or they're going to tease you, or they're going to try to ostracize you as a result of it. They're going to pretend like they're happy for you, but they not. They not. They not happy for you. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the absolute God's honest truth, because I grew up in the same type of spaces as y'all. Of all of the success that I've had, I ain't even just going to talk about my whole life. I'm going to just talk about over the last 2024. I've had more success. Every year I've become more and more successful than I ever had before. In 2024 alone, let's just talk about the last month and a half. I've gotten more phone calls from people that recognize me from school and all of this other type of stuff, and people that tapped into me, people that I kicked it with, people that had my best interest at heart. Bad chasers call me and reach out to me every day. Yakar, he texts me and he hit me up every single day. Carrie be tapping in with me, hit me up every single day. Mika, Slimmy, Quentin, all of these people, my bad chasers. That's why I say that y'all are my family. I have gotten zero, and I mean zero, phone calls from people that are directly related to me blood-wise. I ain't talking about my mama. I ain't talking about Rita. I ain't talking about the people that's around me, the people that's directly close to me. I'm talking about extended family. I have gotten zero text messages, zero phone calls. Nobody reaches out to me. Nobody say congratulations. Nobody say, yo, Tom, you won, you winning. Yo, we behind you. We rocking behind you. When I see them, I got to be real. I got to be absolutely real. And the majority of my family, and I'm not throwing them under the bus, I'm just telling the truth. Ain't nothing false about what I'm telling you right now. The majority of my family are Democrats. They are definitively going to vote for Kamala Harris, without a doubt. I'm just like, I got a platform, but I'm just like every single other person that's out here in these streets. All of y'all, we all the same. I got a microphone, so I represent you, but I got to keep it real. I got to keep it 100%. I got to keep it real with you. When they see me, they act like I ain't did nothing. They act like they don't watch me every day. I know they watch me every day because people tell me that they be watching me every day. The people that's around them be telling me that they watch me, but I get zero phone calls. And when they run into me, they act like, that's just Anton. No, I'm Anton. That's what I am. I'm Anton. And when I see my homies doing well and stuff like that, and when I see people be successful, man, my dog Lance Swain, I've known Lance since 9th grade. Lance called me last night and said, yo, fam, because y'all seen Lance a couple of times. He been around me and stuff like that. He been in the studio and stuff like that. Lance, my dog, who is not directly related to me, has done more for me than... He called me last night. He called me and Rita last night. He said, yo, Anton, it's a talking point that you missed one time. So this is one thing that Republicans is not hitting on, and this is what's a part of the Constitution. And so when you get on the next debate, make sure that you say this thing. He loved me. He want me to win in every way, shape, or form. He never asked me for nothing except to continue to win. When it's people directly close to me, people that I've helped raise, people that I've played significant roles in, have given hundreds of thousands of dollars to, they look at you like you are nothing. They act like you don't even exist. They act like, oh, that's just Anton. I know him since he was a baby. No, I'm big dog now. It's different. I control things. I determine what happens in people's lives. I pay salaries. But they will try to keep you down mentally. And you have to divest yourself from this plantation. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to respect them. It don't mean that I don't love them. But what it means is that I have to grow. I got to keep growing. And we are all growing in different directions. And the minute that you then divest yourself from this mindset and this culture that is not conducive for your life, it don't mean that they didn't teach you nothing. It didn't mean that they didn't add value in your life at certain times. But I'm telling you that you got to divest yourself from this plantation mentality because you are meant to do greater things. And it's not just about where you come from. You are more than your city, you more than your state, you more than your town, you more than your bloodline. Your bloodline is not defined by what it is that you was born as. Your bloodline is defined by the things that you do on this earth. Your legacy is going to be defined by what it is that you do for other people and whether or not you left this earth in a better space had you not been here. It is not going to be based off of whoever it is related to you. I'm telling you. It's scripture. Even Jesus had to deny his own mother and said, these are my brothers and my sisters that take this journey with me. It's the people that is going in the direction that you're going in. They don't love you. They loathe you until you can do something for them. And then they love you for the moment until it's another opportunity to do something for them. You got to break free. Break free. Think for yourself. And it's okay to go alone. If it's just you by yourself, I promise you along that journey, it's going to be somebody else that's out here. We are a bunch of misfits that realize that we were different than the world. And this is one of the reasons why we all came together. This show is a misfit show. We are all a bunch of people that other people don't agree with. And we all just so happen to come together and say, you know what? He weird just like I'm weird. Or at least they selling us that we weird. But then we realized that we was really right. Everybody else is weird. It's just a whole bunch of them, so it make it seem like that they normal. We all just a bunch of people that came together from different parts of the world, different colors, different creeds, different heights, different genders, different everything. And we all disagree and we agree and we fight like family because we really are family in real life. And the people that is meant to take this journey with you is not necessarily the people that you was born with. And so I'm telling you that we just start to identify each other and say, hey, man, you know what? I don't really like what he's saying because it go against what I was taught, but let me keep listening to him. And then we all just became family, and that's how we started rocking with each other. That's what Michaela is. That's why she's getting so much pushback. That's why we identify with her, because we've all seen her story, and we can see that it's a diamond in there. She is a diamond in the rough. And they're trying to silence her and they're trying to make sure that they put that light out because they don't like the uncomfortable feeling that it gets when she starts to speak because it makes you look stupid. And so instead of us saying, man, this woman is articulate, she can really communicate well, she's really thoughtful, she's smart as hell, we need to start championing the things that we like about her more than the things that we don't necessarily care about. They try to dim her light and act like she an outcast and that she's stupid. Because they uncomfortable with themselves. People that are uncomfortable with themselves, they can't even give you a compliment when you do something right.
Good morning.
Yes, I did not know that you knew Candace Owens because she's pretty much been outcasted by the right because of her stances on Israel. But anyway, you will have a good job at Fox News at some point. I guarantee you that. And the things you point out on the Democrats, for their failures, you're absolutely right on some of the things. The Democrats fall short, but at least we try.
We'll break down some of her stuff on the next on the Anton Daniels channel. We'll break it down. But I said what I said. This woman is smart. She's intelligent. She's unique, and she should be celebrated. And I think her future is going to be incredibly bright. And I was looking at 2K yesterday. I just seen a super chat. I just seen my dog 2K. I seen 2K yesterday, and 2K had over 4,000 people inside of his chat. I said, gosh, I knew that this dude was it. I knew that he was it. I seen 2K's live stream yesterday. I was just sitting back and admiring. Now, it's a lot of people that would hate that. Oh, man, I can't believe he's doing so well. Listen, man, 2K is a talent. And from the first day that I see him, every single interaction that we didn't ever had, in person and on the phone and on live, I always said that, this guy is it. He got something. He is unique. He is going to be greater than me. And so ain't nothing wrong with that. When you celebrate other people, let me say this one. When you celebrate other people, it doesn't take away from what you already got going on. You ain't never gonna hate your way to the top. You ain't never gonna hate your way to the top. I see his live streams getting more unique, his stuff that he doing as far as adding value in, and instead of y'all being inspired and leapfrogging off of that, we start to hate on each other.